My name is Alan.
My name is Evan. And
welcome to all my friends.
Dude, that was so legit. And we are back. We back. And we are back for episode 20. Welcome to all my friends, folks. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. We haven't asked each other that in a while.
It's been a while.
I know that people have been dying to
know how we are.
Yeah. They have to know us say the most commonly used phrase in the world. Good. How are you?
Yeah. Good. Well, you were just saying you were tired. But
I'm a little tired. It's okay. Push through it again. Us in the podcast world, we don't take days off. And even on a holiday week, such as the 4th of July, we'll be giving you all content. So you're welcome in advance. Let's hope that we get this out on the 4th of July week, because if not, I just lied.
Well, it'll be out.
Let's hope. No, it will be. It will be out. So happy 4th of July week to you all. Welcome to episode 20, where we had a great sit-down chat with an excellent musician.
Yeah. How do you say her name?
Hit me with the pronunciation.
Anna Burch.
Anna Burch.
Nailed it.
Burch, commonly mispronounced as Anna Burch.
Yeah.
Burch. Lots of it. So, anyways, before we get to that, of course, we've got to do our weekly routine.
Yeah.
Where we
this week in music.
This week in music, Al. This week in music. I just hit my face with the microphone.
You're tired. You're tired.
No, we're off on a good note here. The big news, and probably the only thing that we're really going to talk about.
Yeah. The easiest, the biggest news.
Yep.
It's easy. The best new song that came out Friday. I know what you're thinking. Yep. Mason Ramsey,
there
a.k.a.
it is.
the Walmart yodeling boy, released
kid.
a new single.
He released 2 new songs.
Yeah.
But
the single, The Way I See It, banger. Nothing else really happened this week in music.
No artist dominated headlines or social media or anything.
Streaming, nothing.
More than
it was
Yodeling Kid.
Nothing but Lil Hank Williams.
I'm happy that he is still relevant. These things have a short shelf life.
Yeah, he's doing it well. Releasing music. I'm not gonna say I listened to it.
I listened to it a lot. I've listened to it like 5 times. Right?
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, because it's good. But
I have no idea what it sounds like, but it's probably trash.
No,
but
geez, wow, you're gonna hate
him.
A young artist, a young aspiring artist. That seems kind of rude. That was probably not the best way to portray sarcasm, because we're clearly being sarcastic here. Drake has put out his latest and greatest album called Scorpion. It is the only thing that has been talked about in music for 3 days.
Yeah, or even a few days before that as well.
Teasers and all that stuff. 25 songs.
Way too long.
Someone needs to tell these rappers. So it happened with Ray Shremmer. They did a 3-disc album. Kanye put out 2 albums, and they were shorter. But someone needs to tell everyone, no one wants more. I don't want more of this. Just pick the best ones, because even on this, it's really good. The album is good, but he could have gotten rid of 10 of them.
Yeah, well, that's
for sure.
That's my favorite thing I've seen on Twitter or all the blogs and stuff is here is my summary of what songs I would put on the album. And so basically everyone is listening to it once and being okay, these are the 12 or whatever many
best
I'm going to actually listen to.
Right.
And I'm going to ignore the rest because 25 is way too many.
Yeah. So it was definitely, it's you have your own, everyone has their own version of the album though. So maybe it is a good thing.
Yeah. I mean, everyone,
so many choices.
Yeah. It's choose your own story.
Yeah. It's like build your own breakfast, same kind of thing. Build your own Drake album. Build your own burrito. How about build your own burrito?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, basically, build your own Drake album.
Yeah.
It's crushed a lot of these previous records, streaming-wise.
Yeah, I mean, it's destroying.
170 million Apple streams in one day, which is over double what his last one was, I think.
That's insane.
It's crazy. And, that's a testament to streaming services dominating, being the only way that people consume music these days. But
increasing.
It's really insane. I had read that he was making $40,000 an hour just from streaming alone on the day it came out last Friday.
Yeah, that's insane.
I wonder if it matters because there's more songs on it. Do you get more? No, probably. I mean, there's more opportunities. It's a long album.
Yeah, people are going to put in an hour and a half, or whatever instead of an hour. Right. So you get more royalty.
There you go. That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Quick question. Do you think the best songs were all the singles, right? That had already come out?
Emotionless is the best one. The one that samples Mariah Carey.
You think that's better than all
God's
the
Plan?
singles that came out before?
That's my favorite one on it. So I think it's the best.
Okay.
But probably no, not from a public standpoint. I think it's really great. This is the song that he finally references his child the alleged kid that had come up in the Pusha T beef. He has confirmed that
he has a son.
Kid is real. Baby Driz is a real person. So that's what I think I just think it was like a really big deal for him, and also the beat is so great. I mean, all of it's really good. So
part of me wondered if he had this tape ready, and then the whole diss stuff came out, and he was like, "Well, now I have to write about my son, so let me throw in 3 more tracks that say that reference to my kid, or like being a dad, or."
He clearly added the references after the diss.
Right?
There's no way he was planning on. No, that's not how it's. Yeah. That's not how it works.
So that's why I'm like, maybe it's the best, but also it's so cheap.
It's so cheap.
Just like he had to do it. This wasn't like his plans.
He had to.
Yeah, he did.
I don't think anyone. I think it just like it helped create buzz about it.
I guess
a lot of headlines of like, oh, Drake finally confirms the child rumors. Yeah. God, where is that kid? Someone get that. We should figure out the name of the kid, and then get Instagram handle for the kid.
Okay, he's like
get a bunch of them.
Isn't he like a year old?
Yes, Alan. That's what I mean. Is early on. I'm sure someone already has an Instagram handle, but have it so then when the kid needs Instagram and people start following him, boom, like $50,000. That'd be a good amount for someone to buy an Instagram handle off us. Yeah, we'd play hardball, but we're not going to be unreasonable.
No,
we'll give it to him eventually.
I mean, Drake made 40 in an hour. We'll take 40.
Exactly. We'll take 40. Okay,
yeah.
see, we're already negotiating ourselves down. Twitter apparently, according to Twitter, there's 3 million tweets about Drake /Scorpion in a 24-hour span.
Yeah, that's insane.
That's insane. But now that I read that again, I'm like, is that insane? Twitter moves so fast for me. I can't keep up with that.
3 million is a lot.
3
million is a lot. I don't know, but it sounds like a lot.
Yeah. It's a bad time to not be a Drake fan. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah.
As we were doing research for this, I'm like, man, if you hate Drake and you don't like this kind of music at all, music industry's dead to you.
Probably
nothing else is happening.
I will say another pretty cool thing about the album that he did was that Michael Jackson feature he got. So he, on one of the songs, has a previously unreleased Michael Jackson.
I don't know how that's
verses,
possible.
basically.
Yeah, he's got some vocals.
I didn't read the full article, but it seems like Paul Anka or something had the rights, and Drake, friends or whatever business partner with Paul Anka, and got the rights to them.
Yeah.
And so he has a new Michael Jackson song, basically.
Which is wild.
Which isn't just crazy.
That's like, if you think about it from Drake's standpoint, though, he's probably like, man, what's the one thing I can do that hasn't really been done?
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. Is like, that's his one, like, this album, I literally got a dead person's feature on it.
It sounded so ruthless. But yeah, he literally has arguably one of the biggest pop stars in the world in history.
Ever.
He has unreleased vocals, and it's not even like a single. It's it was like a throwaway. It's like track number 20.
Yeah, exactly.
And he references kid, huge.
Yeah,
he's making waves. He's making waves. He's doing it. But we did manage to find some other stuff not to talk about. That's not related to Mr. Driz.
We did.
Like our boy. Is he our boy?
He's fine.
He's fine. Ed Sheeran apparently is being sued for $100 million, or they are trying to sue Ed Sheeran for $100 million by the one and only Marvin Gaye. Well, Marvin Gaye's family.
Yeah.
Because they are saying that one of his songs draws ties to Let's Get It On, which is crazy to me because the song I'm sure you've all heard it before. It's the people. It's like the slow one. It's in a bunch of movies.
Yeah.
Anyways, he's being sued for the 3rd time too. Wow, Ed, you should stay out of these legal battles. You should get yourself a better lawyer or stop stealing songs.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably stop using songs or audio that sounds a lot like other people.
It's his song. Oh my gosh, why can't I find the title for that? That's very bad of me. Anyways, what's funny to me about this is that Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud. It is, Ed Sheeran is way too corny and like boring to write a song like Let's Get It On, so this is perfectly it is the Ed Sheeran version of the song Let's Get It On.
Basically.
Yeah. Ed is just such an awkward guy.
All those things, though, lawsuits, it's like, it's such a hard thing to distinguish what's a real, I don't know.
What's legit about
what's a legit,
legit.
Stealing the music versus
Yeah.
something that sounds something inspired by, whatever.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to, when we get this edited, I'm gonna try to remember to put the song in right now so you all can hear it and be like, does it sound like Let's Get It On or not? I'll probably forget, but
maybe
thought that counts.
Another law-related news. Kanye, our boy, and Tidal are being sued. This is a somewhat interesting one because they're being sued. Yeah, for Life of Pablo not being exclusive on Tidal, which is what Kanye tweeted at one point. So Kanye tweeted, "My album will never, never, never be on Apple. It will never be for sale. You can only get it on Tidal." That album was on Apple 6 weeks later.
It was.
So
I don't think there was ever a physical release of it though, which is interesting.
Yeah, that's true.
Kept up half of that tweet.
Yeah, but basically, they're being sued because people are saying that it is.
They went off that basis.
Yeah, they went off of that.
That's
it
a
is
real
no
thing.
longer. Yeah, and it's going through apparently.
You think so?
Yeah.
Wow,
It can be
I'll
done
look at
state
that.
by state, apparently, according to the court. So it won't be a national lawsuit, but it'll be state by state, which is just an interesting thought to be sued from something you tweet.
2018
Seems like it wouldn't be like
2018.
legally binding.
Yeah, there is some
But
gnarly stuff.
I mean, if you're
that's been
saying something
tweeted.
is going to be exclusive,
Yeah, but there's that could have been sent by Kim. Could have been posted by anybody. There's no that's why it won't go through, I don't think.
yeah, I don't know. We'll see.
Twitter. We're not Twitter guys.
No.
Except you who runs our Twitter.
Yeah.
You should give us a follow, by the way, if
Oh,
you
yeah,
haven't.
on Twitter.
What's our handle?
I think it's All My Friends Pod.
Okay, at All My Friends Pod. Go
Yeah.
ahead, smash that follow button. Hit us up on IG too. Yeah, we're trying to rack those followers up. Slide in the DMs. Nobody slid in our DMs. God, I'm just kidding. 2,000 people slid in our DMs, and it was overwhelming. That's why I haven't responded to anybody.
Yeah.
Next up, the First Lady of Rap. Should we start calling her that?
Ooh,
Seems like a
I
good
like
thing.
that.
I like that. First Lady of Rap, Mrs. Cardi B and Offset have confirmed that they have, in fact, already been married. They had a private wedding, hence the title of Cardi's last huge album, Invasion of Privacy. She didn't want people all up in her biz. There we go. We said it at the same time. That's
Nice.
good. I wish I had thoughts about this, but I don't.
No,
and
just
as
congrats.
Cardi and Offset fans, maybe we respect the privacy,
Yeah, exactly.
respect their love.
Perfect.
I'm pulling for them. I hope it works.
I mean,
Of course, no reason
I
not
literally
to.
know nothing about their relationships,
Yeah.
so sure.
Well, they're
I
married.
have
now.
no reason why.
Now you know something about it.
That's cool headline. This was, I don't know if it's that's cool or just a very interesting one. Elon Musk got in a feud with a musician Lisa Prank over
From Seattle. Shout out
from
to
Seattle, yeah, over her father's artwork, a stolen farting unicorn illustration. So, just that headline is incredible. It's cool.
That is cool.
Just a little
It's
backstory.
literally like a comics. It's like a paint drawing of
Yeah.
this unicorn farting.
Her father
That's the backstory.
makes artwork, and one of the illustrations he put on it was this little unicorn farting like a rainbow kind of thing.
Classic. That's the
Yeah.
only thing unicorns would fart.
And Elon Musk at one point liked it or something, and then on Twitter or something. But then he proceeded to use it on his Tesla ads.
What? I don't understand that. Tesla aren't they known for being sleek and of the future? Why
Yeah.
are you using
I have no
a
idea.
paint bucket drawing of a unicorn farting?
Who knows why they decided to use it?
What is the world happening right now?
And yeah, he didn't pay for any of the rights for the illustration. So
Take him down,
Him
Lisa.
and Lisa Prank started getting in a Twitter feud.
Yeah.
which was interesting.
Hey, shout out Seattle.
Shout out Seattle.
I want Lisa to walk away with their family, because I guess it's her father's art.
Yeah.
Walk away with a couple mil.
Oh, I hope
Just
so.
do it.
I
Just
hope
do it.
so.
It
I
would
hope
be
they.
so
I
great.
hope
It's
they walk
nothing to
away
Elon
like
Musk.
five
Nothing.
mil easy. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Elon's staying in the music biz too. He's been in headlines. You got to know this isn't the car biz anymore, man. We've got a Kanye sighting. Mr. West himself, as we mentioned before, he's been active. He has allegedly said that he wants to make 52 records in 52 weeks. I think he's single-handedly trying to disprove the theory quality over quantity.
Yeah, he's failing so far. He's put
So
out
far, he's failing, yes.
5 good music albums have come out. The Tanaya, Kanye, Nas,
It's all it's just
Kid Cudi.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm missing one.
his own.
What? Oh, in his own?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one. So he's done 5 in 5 weeks, basically. He apparently has one with Chance the Rapper at some point.
Apparently,
It's in the works.
Chance will put the team on his back there, though.
Yeah.
I've got faith.
Here's the thing. Of those 5 albums that are out so far, you could probably pick 2 to 3 songs from each one and make a really good mixtape album.
Exactly.
Why not do that instead of put out these half-assed albums. I'm sorry.
I don't get it either.
Not
and
quantity.
I didn't think that Kanye would turn to this, but
yeah.
he would do it. I bet Kanye's a big Guinness World Record guy. He wants that
world.
book.
Yeah.
Do those books still come out? The actual physical
Probably.
books?
Someone, yeah.
I bet those books are like, I remember them being like really expensive too, like a $50 book. Hardcover.
Yeah.
All glossy pages, all color. Yeah.
They're probably still.
Man, we should find a way to get in there. We should try to do like the longest podcast episode. No, that sounds like a lot of work.
I was
Shortest podcast episode?
Ooh.
1 second.
Yeah.
Ooh, stay tuned.
That we can do.
Episode 21. We know what we're doing. And lastly, before we get to our interview with Anna, I'm going to attempt to bring back one of our older segments, the segment called Headlines That Matter, where I try to, or one of us tries to argue why a headline that you would not think matters actually does matter. And I'm going to kind of do this one on the fly. Found this one right before we started recording, and I'm going to try to pitch it. So the headline, courtesy of Billboard.com, is the American Idol winner Taylor Hicks said he knew who got eliminated every single week beforehand.
Okay.
Here's why it matters, Alan. Here's why it matters.
Yep.
It matters because the magic is lost. Magic is officially lost. You'd like to believe that on a show like American Idol, that there's some magic to it, and that they really are genuine reactions when they find out if they advance or not. It's dead now.
It's dead.
American Idol is dead.
So he knew ahead of. So the voting didn't count, is what he's saying.
Apparently not.
Or was he guessing?
I don't even know who Taylor Hicks is, honestly.
I don't either.
So I'm a little. He looks like a nice guy, but I isn't American Idol done? Didn't they have like last season?
Sure.
Man, talk about a show that just like what happened to that after season 4? Carrie Underwood won, and then it was like, all right, cool, nothing else is gonna.
Well, and then they did like 13 others.
Yeah. That's what I mean. And so they're probably in like season 20. I'm sure I could find this really quickly. Yeah, but that's wild to me.
I think it matters if
man.
you can. If anything that's supposed to be like a live election kind of thing where there's voting is rigged. America is pretty fucked as it is so far in this year.
True.
We don't need American Idol fucking it up even more.
Yep, you're right. We also. It matters because this week is 4th of July week. So being a patriot is a big deal right now. American Idol. Come on, if you're really going to be the idol of America.
Good call.
Boom.
I like it. I like it.
There we go. Thumbs up?
Yeah, thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
Also, I'm just going to throw a little sponsorship idea out there for American Idol. Bring it back one season. American Idol. Only American soldiers can participate or armed forces.
Nice.
Make it extra American.
I like that.
You're welcome.
That's
people would watch
idea.
that.
You know?
Guaranteed.
You know what's never running out of style?
What?
Loving your country.
Exactly.
Being a patriot.
Also, one last fun fact. The Guinness World Records book of 2018 is $15.97.
What?
On hardcover.
Wow.
2018.
Yeah.
So next year
Inflation,
you can find us in
thing.
there. 2019, you'll find our record.
You'll find us in there.
Yep.
It'll be great. With that, let's get right on into our interview with Anna Burch. She is a fantastic singer, songwriter, rocker, whatever you want to call it. She's got a new record out that came out earlier this year on Polyvinyl, and it's a fantastic record. If you haven't checked it out, go ahead and do that now. Just to pause it.
Yep.
Pause this episode, listen to the entire record. Love it, and then come back and hit play again.
Because you will love it.
Yeah, you will love it. It's great.
Yeah.
She
was great.
She's a lot smarter than us, I could tell.
Yeah, everyone is.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So, with that,
here's Anna.
Slamming all your drinks, you don't have to think about me. You've got all your friends used up all their meds, honey. I'll still be okay when you walk my way publicly. But when I get home, I can't be alone, can't you see? You scare me with your indifference. I lie
are in an undisclosed location in Seattle, Washington, with a very special guest. I'm not going to get her name wrong. It's Anna Burch.
Correct.
Burch?
Birch.
Birch, like a tree.
You did get it wrong.
He got it wrong.
Oh, we're off on the wrong foot already. At least I didn't say Anna Birch.
Correct.
So Anna Burch.
No, Anna Birch.
Anna Burch. Got it.
Anna
Okay,
Birch.
cool. See, can you tell that I like listened to your name a bunch beforehand to get this right? First question, most important question. How many music videos have you starred in where you're a klepto?
Just one.
Just one.
I think. Yeah, just one.
And what's the story behind this?
So I'm in my friend's music video from this band Mini Horse.
And did you not play in Mini Horse at any time?
I did play in Mini Horse for just one tour.
Okay.
I filled in for their bass player.
Nice.
But yeah, so they were shooting a music video, and basically my friend was having a house party, and they had a specific girl in mind to play this person, but she was like stuck at work, and then they came to the party and they just asked me to do it. So
You filled in last minute.
I just filled in.
Jack of all trades. You
Exactly.
do it all. And this person is like walking around stealing people's iPhones.
Stealing iPhones.
I didn't.
some strange
I was gonna say I didn't get the hidden meaning there.
Yeah, it's
Well,
okay.
see, the song's called "Drink You Dry," so
So
nope, still don't get the connection.
I still don't get it. You don't. They didn't tell you. They were just like, so here's the premise. You're gonna go around and steal iPhones.
Yeah, yeah. And I was a little buzzed at the time, and I was just like, "You want me to be in a video? Sure."
Yeah. I was like, let me go around and steal people's iPhones.
Yeah.
This is what I would normally do. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm ready for my close up.
Yeah.
Speaking of drinking a little bit, did you ever buy a Frosty?
Yeah.
Aren't those illegal?
What question was that?
That's so funny. Were you like hunting on my Instagram?
I didn't go on your
history?
Instagram. Is what happened?
When I first moved to Detroit, there was this little rogue business called Detroit Frosties, and there were all sorts of rumors about what was in a Frosty, but it's basically an alcoholic frozen beverage that they would deliver to you. So you would just text the
So
person.
not sketchy
Wait.
at all.
Yeah.
Hold on. You would text the person?
Yeah, or it was like through Instagram or something. Like there were a couple of steps to like get the number, to get the Frosties. And yeah, I think what it wound up being is just sort of like 4 shots of Everclear and like a slushy with like food coloring. But like there were all sorts of rumors about like, yeah, there's codeine in it, there's Adderall in it. Like
So
4 shots
like,
of Everclear.
there's maybe some acid in it.
So
I don't
like,
know.
what part of you was like, huh? That's exactly what we should do today. We should just order this
Every
random
part
thing
of
off
me.
the internet.
Every part of
yeah,
me
you
was
want to live
ready.
life on the
Yeah.
edge.
But they were expensive, and I would always be like, "Hey, buddies, let's get these Frosties." And my friends would be like, "Yeah, okay, I guess." And I'd be like, "Let's do it." And then like I'd set it up, and then they'd come, and then we'd get like a few, and then they'd be like, "All right, that'll be
$80.
yeah, $60 or something." And then I'd be like, "Okay, guys,
Time
who's
to cough
coughing up?"
Yeah.
But it was.
I'm
just
so
me.
confused
It was
by
always
this.
just
So
me.
this is literally like it's a very illegal thing.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Uber
And
Eats
it's
without like
it's
the-
Uber Eats without the
Uber
The
that you-
infrastructure.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was like ran out of like someone's.
Well, yeah, they
This is why-
delivered out
this
of
is
a
why
van.
Michigan's
They
great.
delivered out of a van.
Well, I mean,
I don't think they exist anymore.
I bet not.
R.I.P. Frosties.
Yeah.
But-
You know what they say about businesses ran in vans. Adults driving around giving out ice cream in vans. It's never a good
Yeah.
idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Speaking of alcohol, did you used to work at a spot called the Skylark?
I never worked at the Skylark, but
Were you
I ate my share of burgers there.
Are they famous for having huge urinals?
Oh, I don't know.
I thought that I mean, I guess that makes sense. I assumed that you worked there, so even then, I guess why would you go?
Where
into
did you get this info?
the internet? It's a great place.
Oh, that's
It's a
funny.
really
No,
wonderful
I never
place.
worked there, but I spent a lot of time there because I lived in Pilsen for a couple of years.
Okay,
in
and that's like
Chicago.
the dive bar, right?
It's the bar. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
the dive bar.
I guess
Yeah.
it's like Fight Club. You don't ever talk about Fight Club. You don't actually call it a dive bar. It's just
Right,
the bar.
exactly.
Yeah, and they're known for their burgers.
Yeah, lots of good. Yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
burgers,
But
fries.
were you a bartender around there?
I bartended at a place called Ada Street,
Okay,
and that's sort of like in between Lincoln Park and Bucktown.
nice.
Yeah. Sort of.
I knew Lincoln Park. I didn't know Bucktown.
I'll pretend like, oh yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of
that's a
like
cool
this weird
neighborhood.
corridor where like yeah, I think like all the city's like garbage trucks are parked basically.
Oh, the hot spot of town.
But yeah,
Smells
yeah,
wonderful.
like craft cocktails and small plates.
Yeah, and garbage, hot garbage outside. Wait, so were you what at what time period was this? In band history?
This was like right after I graduated. I went to grad school at University of Chicago. I graduated in 2012.
Okay.
So.
And but musically wise,
I
were
was
you
not doing music at all.
nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
What was the last job you had before you became like a full-time musician?
Well, I concurrently
Are you a full-time
bartended
musician?
in Detroit for a while.
Okay.
But I quit my last bartending job a little over a year ago.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've been touring quite a bit in my project now, and then I was also touring quite a bit last spring with Frontier
Rockets.
Rockets.
Right?
So you played for Frontier Rockets. You played for Failed Flowers. Mm-hmm. Is there any reason Anna Burch doesn't have an F in it?
God.
Why Anna Burch doesn't have an F?
Frontier
Yeah.
Rockets.
Oh,
and Failed
God,
Flowers.
sorry.
Flowers.
No good reason, I guess.
That was a good one on the fly.
Should-
Yeah, definitely didn't write that one down. That was a good one. I love that you whipped that one out. That makes sense. Yeah, that totally threw me off. But this is like the main project now. At this,
Yes.
There's no involvement in other bands.
Well, I'm sort of still
On call?
a member of Failed Flowers, but we've been pretty part-time since I joined. I kind of joined because I was filling in for a girl who quit, and Fred just asked me if I wanted to fill in, and I was kind of like, well, I kind of want to be busy doing my own stuff, and he was like, it's not a time commitment. It's okay. Like, we want to make this record. We might want to play like a few shows every now and then, but he was living in Montreal at the time, so yeah, just pretty part-time, but we're like always kind of like thinking and talking about recording again, but just schedules and stuff.
And
like
this
that.
stuff, this is taking precedence. The way that this is taken off.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's got to be nice. You've lived in a bunch of different spots. Then, yeah, you lived in Wyoming.
Yeah.
barista
Wow.
there?
Where did you put like a private detective on
Yeah,
my
that's
case?
what we do. And this gets
That's
really
actually
weird.
our other
God.
job.
This is just the beginning.
We are private detectives.
But you were a barista in Wyoming.
Yeah.
You know, Wyoming's hot right now. Kanye recorded a record there, so just something to think about. You know.
Yeah, I lived in Wyoming for like 4 months.
Wow, that's short.
Yeah, short-lived.
Did you like it?
I did.
You didn't like
No,
it.
I did.
That's like
Your voice
There was
went-
that one thing that I liked, and everything
did.
else.
I liked it for like the summer.
I bet it sucks in the winter. And I'm from Minnesota.
Yeah, I left as it was getting really cold.
Okay.
But
I mean,
yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, I was staying in like the northwest corner of it, like near Montana,
Okay.
in the mountains, and yeah, so that was nice.
So what was the jump? I guess this job wasn't your last job before you started touring full time, but what was the decision of bartending or whatever you were doing the last job to like, all right, fuck it, like I'm gonna do this now
like
Well-
full time.
musically?
I mean, I was really trying to keep my last bartending job because I had health care, and that was really tight. But
And tips, you know.
yeah, it was good, and they were pretty nice about me taking time off. But yeah, things got kind of weird.
Sounds like something we want to know.
Yeah, I'll give you like the very abridged version. But
Awesome.
basically, I was scheduled to work New Year's Eve, and the night before New Year's Eve at about 3 a.m, my partner and I got robbed at gunpoint,
Oh God.
and it was pretty traumatic.
Yeah.
and
Wow, didn't mean to bring that up.
Yeah, well, the following morning, I stayed up all night basically, and I was pretty upset. And I decided I couldn't work my shift at
Of course not.
2
Yeah.
in the afternoon, so I called off basically, but I thought it was all good. I got my shift covered, and then they were like, "Hey, can you bring a police report to the next
What?
shift?"
Oh.
Yeah,
They didn't believe you?
that's what I said.
I
but
mean-
then they were like, "It's just policy," and I was
Policy?
like,
You have a
"Okay."
policy for that?
Yeah,
That's Detroit.
yeah. So
Do you think that's actually why? Because it's Detroit?
what do you mean?
Like that they have a
Oh
policy.
God, no.
I know that's like such a bad. I feel bad.
No.
Like we interviewed Flint Eastwood as well. I don't know if you're.
Oh
familiar.
yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
she was fantastic, and I feel like we talked a lot about Detroit there
Yeah, we did.
because there seems to be this weird, like negative
yeah.
connotations of Detroit. Like if you don't live in that area,
Yeah.
do you like?
There's lots of connotations about Detroit. I get lots of things.
I mean, I
I
just think
feel
of-
like it's either people are wildly positive and optimistic about it,
Mm-hmm.
or they're like freaked out by it.
Yeah.
But it's always polarizing to talk about, and it's like so nuanced and complicated to really.
Have
Yeah.
one or the other.
Well, I mean, it's like everything at once, kind of.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, it has its pros and it has its cons, like anything.
Oh,
else.
sure. But
every city does.
Yeah.
yeah, it's true. I just think a lot of those tensions are like heightened by a lot of different dynamics, like socioeconomic, racial, lots of things.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's an interesting place. That's for sure.
Do you think the music that comes out of Detroit is like
Reflect.
unfairly represented?
No, I think
think it's
Detroit.
reflective?
I think Detroit gets a lot of visibility because people like to talk about Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think Detroit has a lot of visibility on like an international scale. People
Yeah.
love to talk about Detroit.
Yeah.
Everywhere I go, people are like, "So what's up with Detroit? Tell me about Detroit. It's coming back, right?"
Making a comeback. Yeah, Detroit's on the rise. Do you like living there?
I don't know.
Detroit or Wyoming?
Oh God, I mean, I don't know. Neither. I don't know.
Detroit or Chicago?
I do like Detroit. It's been difficult for me to find like a stable living situation that I feel good about. But
I heard about
I kind
this.
of miss Chicago.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of miss Chicago. I think it's a
I
good
love
city.
Chicago.
Yeah.
There's a neighborhood in Detroit. It's called 8 Mile. Have you ever heard of that? Is that a
Heard
good,
of 8
good
Mile.
Detroit
I
joke?
don't know if it's necessarily
Okay.
a neighborhood.
Is it? What is? I just know the movie.
It's a street.
Oh, it's a street.
Yeah.
You can tell that
Watched the movie
I didn't
once.
watch the movie very intensely. That was a bad Eminem joke.
Getting a little bit back to your music, your friends convinced you kind of to go out as a solo artist. I think one of them kind of gave a demo tape to Polyvinyl, who's your record label, correct?
Yeah, actually, Fred Thomas just sent my record to them. I think there's like a bit of a misunderstanding. I'm not sure where that
clear the air.
came from, but you know how these things happen. Like there's like a little bit of a misphrasing, and then like
And then
it
two
just
guys at the
becomes
podcast,
your
they grab onto
yeah,
it.
Yeah.
And we're
like
screwed.
everybody.
So you had already completed your.
I had already completed the record. It was already mixed, and then
You sent-
Fred is a good friend of mine and was rooting for me, and he's been on Polyvinyl for a while and is good friends with them, and so yeah, he passed the record along to them when it was finished, and the rest is history.
And like to you, what's the importance of like an independent label like Polyvinyl? Especially, I mean, it's based in Michigan, not in Detroit, right?
It's Illinois. It
Okay.
started in Illinois, but they have they have people working in the Bay Area and New York City, Chicago, but it's based in Champaign,
Okay.
Illinois. But yeah, they're great. They're really fair to their artists, and they've been super supportive. And I feel very lucky. So
How
it's been
important
good.
do you think it is to have something like that in when you're in a phase of your career like you are?
Oh, I mean, yeah, super important. Like, it was great. I think in a lot of ways they helped me kind of build from nothing, basically, which is a difficult task, I think, to like be like, okay, this is someone you should pay attention to, but it's like kind
There's
of
nothing
coming
before
from totally.
Yeah.
I mean, like I've played in other bands and stuff, but it's not like
Your
I don't
name
know.
by itself had never been
Right,
out
exactly,
there, per se.
exactly. So
Yeah.
We try to talk about a lot, like, because the ease of the internet has obviously made the accessibility of the internet has made a lot of artists' careers possible or progress in a way that they wouldn't have. And you actually see it, of course, like internet rappers get the claim to fame with that, but like Bandcamp has been so huge for DIY indie rock or whatever, quotations on that. And it seems
Or
like
YouTube artists like
right.
Claro and stuff.
There's a lot of that stuff that's been propelled because of the internet. Did you see that, or do you think that obviously a label is helping out in different ways? But
I definitely hear from people that they saw my videos on YouTube. I feel
Yeah.
like that's like one of the main when someone tells me like how they came across my music. I
YouTube?
feel like YouTube has been pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
The
have like a couple videos that have decent what I would consider
Yeah.
decent views. Yeah, for
I feel
sure.
like you have a good amount of music videos for someone of your
got
size.
three. I've got three.
Right.
Yeah.
Which even then is like
Yeah. For
one on
album.
one record.
Yeah.
Did you really use a checkboard with all the items when you were writing your album, where you just checked off the different items you had to record for each song?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
Is that like a normal thing?
vocals, guitar.
I would say, is that like a
bass.
normal thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
See, can you
I've
tell that we're
never
not
seen that. I've
musicians?
never heard that, but it was so funny seeing that. I was like, is that really how you just you
Yeah.
have the
Lay it
song
all
there? Like,
out.
all right, vocals, check.
Absolutely.
Backup vocals, check.
Yeah.
Gosh, we're showing our inexperience that we're not musicians.
People love making lists.
I
mean,
love-
it's nice to visually
lists makes
see what you have ahead of you, and like, yeah, I mean, especially for a record like mine, where it was like, guitars, bass, drums, vocals. You know what I mean? Like, there's no keys on it. There's nothing. Like, it's pretty easy to make some columns and like check off what's done.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was
Was it all made with just friends in Detroit?
Chicago,
then?
actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So I was working with mostly my friend Paul Cherry in Chicago.
Hi, Paul.
And hi Paul.
Yeah.
He was sort of like really the first person to kind of encourage me to write, and we started demoing together basically as I was moving.
Cool.
So I moved from Chicago to Detroit, and then he was kind of like, come back and record with me. So so he was like, write more songs. So
Yeah.
I wrote more when I got to Detroit, and just kind of came back and forth like the 4-hour trip from Detroit to Chicago, and recorded a bunch. And I was still touring a lot with Frontier Ruckus, so it's kind of like a long process.
Yeah.
And at a point we kind of like treated everything we had already done as demos, even though like we were kind of like, oh yeah, we'll put out an EP. And then I kept writing, and it was like, all right, let's start from scratch again and like really give this a good shot. So yeah, so lots of recording in friends' apartments, and then I wound up getting put in touch with Colin Dupuis, who's was from Detroit but lives in Nashville now and has a studio, and he's worked with a bunch of amazing people. And my drummer was friends with him, and yeah, he was like originally just gonna mix the record, but we wound up talking, and he was kind of like, I think we could retrack some stuff in just a couple of days and like, make this, better. Yeah, exactly.
It sounds like so much of your career is based or like progressed through connections, through friends, through you feel like it would have. I mean, obviously, it's like it takes an army to do this kind of stuff.
Definitely.
But when they see just being an artist that the artist name is your name, it's like I guess the assumption is that it all was written and done, a lot of it by you. Do you feel like you get that misconception a lot of time where people are like,
well, I definitely wrote all the songs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Sorry, that was poor wording on it.
Let it be known.
Right. Credit where credit's due.
Melody, lyrics.
But even like getting in touch with
progressions.
Polyvinyl seemed, that was obviously something.
Yeah,
that was,
through a friend.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. I feel very lucky to have had many supportive friends, and I think part of that is like having been, a part of a band that existed and still exists without me, but for like 12 years.
Yeah.
So
that gave you a leg up, do you think?
I think so, in a lot of ways. Just kind of like seeing kind of like what works and maybe what I wanted to do differently, and just having connections. And I don't know, I think a lot of it too was timing for me. Like, I had just finished grad school, I was nearing the end of my 20s and kind of still feeling like, oh shit, like what do I really have to show for myself?
Yeah.
I mean, obviously grad school
degree.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
What was your degree?
I was proud of that, but it was a humanities degree.
Nice.
And I studied like cinema.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Could you score a movie?
I am not really a composer,
Okay.
but I would be into like collaborating maybe with someone on that. But yeah,
So
when I studied cinema, it was more like theory and history, like the more academic side of film studies. Not
an academic.
Not like
Okay.
production.
Yep.
Yeah.
I heard cinema and I was like, movies. I know what that is. I know what that is. Wait, what's the importance of the UFO Factory?
Oh, well, the UFO Factory is was
right?
but continues to be. They're rebuilding right now. But basically, the UFO Factory was a club that used to exist in Detroit, and then it reopened in like a new location a few years ago, and it was kind of like right after I moved, and yeah, it was just sort of like the only cool like small mid-size room for bands in Detroit recently, and yeah, it was just a great spot. And there's a big condo luxury condo development going in all around it, and they basically bulldozed into the side of the building.
I was gonna say, why was it shut down? Do you know?
The UFO Factory?
Yeah.
Because a bulldozer knocked into the building and it was like tilted at a 15-degree angle.
Yeah, I read that it was dangerous conditions. Or
yeah,
something
yeah,
like that.
yeah. It
I saw
was
some
condemned
pictures
by
that
the
looked pretty
city.
gnarly.
Yeah.
So, but not their fault?
The construction
No,
for
like
the
the
condos?
UFO people.
Yeah, the UFO people clearly they just got blindsided by this, and
Yeah. Yeah.
man, let's take them down. Jesus,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Well, how important are
Yeah.
some of these venues, especially in Detroit, ones that are smaller, small to medium size?
They're so important, especially especially for out of town bands that aren't like huge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like who can't fill a big room. And those are the bands that you want to meet and get in touch with as like being like a kind of band that's on the rise, or like not on the rise, but you know what I mean? Like a smaller local band. Like you want to link up with bands that are touring and like be able to kind of like build those networks across the country and, swap shows and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, when there's not like a good feeling room that like can take chances on smaller acts, then the scene kind of just like suffers for it, I think. So yeah.
How was the scene, do you think, when you were there in Detroit versus like Chicago? Did you notice a big difference in like the scene for both? I mean, they're both pretty big cities, but also pretty different.
Yeah, they're different for sure. When I lived in Chicago, though, I really wasn't doing that much with music.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, I have friends now in the Chicago music scene, and it seems like super supportive, and like it has like a little more, like, even though Detroit I feel like has like high visibility on a national level, I don't feel like there's the same kind of like infrastructure that Chicago has to kind of like help build bands, in a more like sustainable community.
Why do you think that
oriented
is?
way.
Just like the personality of the city. I mean,
Population
Chicago's
and
gotta be bigger,
Chicago's
right? Yeah.
so established. I mean,
Yeah.
Detroit's like, just not had the same, just sort of like longevity. I feel like it's like rockier in a lot of ways.
That's what's crazy too. Is like a lot of people, if you like quiz them about Detroit music history, they would, they'd mention Eminem, or they'd mention something that's not very obvious, but like all the soul music that came out of there, and then rock. Like, there's,
I mean, it's a super like historic music scene.
It's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little more rocky. Like,
Yeah.
it had its peaks.
And valleys.
But look at Memphis.
Yeah, same.
I don't know. Like, I've never played a good show in Memphis. Like,
Ever?
God bless them. But I don't know many people.
Worst show ever.
Worst show ever.
You don't have to name the venue unless you want to, and that would be awesome.
I don't know. There have been so many bad shows in my past.
Yeah?
I don't want to take my mind there.
Okay, that's
trying
true.
to stay
That's
positive
true. Yeah,
for this show.
you're on tour with Speedy Ortiz. You're doing all right.
I am
you're
on tour
doing
with
all
Speedy
right. So
Ortiz.
that's got to be good.
Yeah.
It's been good.
Yeah, it's been
Okay.
great.
No
So
no
fun.
bad shows.
No,
Seattle's
it's
the
been
best show that's going to happen ever.
Best ever.
There we go.
I'm sure.
You heard it here first.
Anticipating.
Simple as that. Should we move on to some? So we've got.
do it.
We'll end with some good ones here that hopefully you haven't been asked before. But if you have, then I guess this whole thing is a failure. Who's the most famous person in your cell phone?
Most famous person in my cell phone? Oh man.
Last person we asked this did not want to tell us who it was.
Yeah.
It was one of those. So we
Yeah,
asked
that's
this
like such a like inherently name droppy
right,
question.
but we don't mean it like that. It's like an interesting thing.
Yeah,
like
it doesn't matter who you pick, really.
It
right?
doesn't-
Like, we don't know. So
Right.
Like, it's just
It's-
whoever you find interesting. I think
or
that's what we
also
call it.
like maybe you got someone's number you like they didn't give it to you, but like you got sent someone's number. I don't know. Someone had Rick Ross's number, and again, I don't know if it really is Rick Ross's number, but I don't care because it's
And
cool.
it was like through a teacher.
Yeah, he like got it
it's
through a
something.
teacher. It was a
So
weird
it's like,
thing.
Yeah.
Do you have any famous people in your cell phone?
I don't know if I have any like
Oh,
famous people. I have like mid-level indie rockers in my phone.
That's good. Name them off. Come on. Who do we got
I'm
here?
not going to. I'm going to
Let's
protect
call
their
them. Let's
anonymity.
do them all.
Soccer mommy said Phoebe Bridgers' mom, right? That's
No. She said, "Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah.
right." Someone else said Jack Antonoff's mom.
yeah. So like we get random.
We get a lot of
things like
moms.
that.
You're just looking for a name, aren't you?
Well,
You're
yeah,
not
we're
gonna
looking.
stop until you get a name, are you?
You know, this is like a headline grab. Like we're trying to get stuff that we can.
I've got Sadie Dupuis' number.
There
on
you
my
go.
phone.
Yeah, but she's downstairs. We could like
She's downstairs.
drop a piece of paper.
I could text her. I could text her right now.
Yeah, you want
Get
to call
up
her? You
here.
want to call Sadie?
No.
That's what we always ask. Whenever they do say a name, you want to call them? And no one's ever called them yet, which is kind of a bummer.
Almost. Who was it?
Someone almost called. Someone's like, "Am I really about to do this?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, Shamir." Shamir almost called Mac DeMarco, and I was like, "This is going to be the greatest thing to ever happen on this podcast." And then it didn't happen. So
Yeah, that was a bummer. Do you remember what the last film you screened as a projectionist was?
Oh wow. Ooh, that's a really good question.
yes, nice one.
I feel like it might have been. I think it was the King Lear that Orson Welles did. Is that right?
I believe so.
I love how you're
I
checking
think
with
it
us.
was King. I think
mean-
it was King Lear. It was definitely. Shoot, I think it had bells in the title. God damn.
Let's bring you back there.
Yeah, Orson Welles was in it for sure.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he.
So probably right.
Yeah, I think it was something Shakespearean with Orson Welles in it.
There you go.
Would you like to speak any more on your time as a projectionist?
The first film I ever screened was Gremlins.
What?
Yeah,
That movie is freaky,
it was cool.
right?
It was really cool.
I feel like I remember watching it and being like, never
I don't
again.
fuck with
And then,
that.
yeah,
No.
just-
No, I don't
I
like.
don't want to remember it. I don't want to watch it again. It was like, yeah, it
No.
was good.
It's actually really cool. I'm like really squeamish when it comes to like scary movies and stuff. But yeah, it's cool projecting scary movies because like
'Cause
you're working and you're not like totally paying
Yeah.
attention. But every
Yeah.
now and then you get the little like through the fingers
Yeah.
like kind of.
And I'm sure you get to like hear and kind of see everyone's reaction, which must be entertaining as
It's
well.
fun.
Yeah, you're probably not as involved in it.
Yeah.
Wait, what's the Milo show?
Oh, Jeff Milo is just like a music lover in Detroit. He writes for Detroit Free Press and has a show on WDT.
So
And
were you on an episode of this?
I did an episode with Frontier Ruckus for the Milo show. Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
I don't know why I expected a different reaction there. I wasn't sure what it was, but I saw it and I was like, boom, we're going to ask about what
Yeah.
that is. Okay, cool.
Jeff Milo.
Shout out Jeff
Great guy.
Milo. Shout out
Great
Jeff
guy.
Milo. Go ahead.
Any news you want to break on this episode?
Headline grabs. I don't know. We're looking for big ones here.
Man, I've been like so just not tapped into current events since
Yeah.
I've been on tour for like basically 7 weeks straight. I don't know.
Yeah. Wait, no. What? We're looking for like a headline from you.
Oh,
Like,
headline
Do you
from
have like?
me?
Yeah.
Do you want to announce the next album? Do you want to announce like the band's
Oh,
breaking up? Like
God.
anything crazy? You got anything?
No, I guess I don't have any news. I'm like so like entrenched in just the tour vehicle
Yeah.
right now that like everything is sort of like stable in a way. Like
Do you-
it's
do you-
kind of like barely hanging on by threads, but
Do you write as
Yeah.
you tour?
no, I feel like it's too much of a disconnect from like my creative brain.
Yeah.
Mm.
I wrote like one song when I was on tour with Frontier Ruckus, but I didn't have to be like the point person for everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I'm my own tour manager right now, so
Swiss Army knife, you do it all.
yeah, I barely keeping up on the emails and all that stuff.
Holding on by a
so-
thread.
Holding on by a thread.
Actually.
So hey, if I haven't responded to an email of yours,
Sorry.
I'm really
fine.
sorry.
This is gonna come out in like 3 weeks. So
I probably still haven't
It's
responded
still-
to
yeah,
emails
3
from
weeks.
3
Oh,
weeks prior
geez.
to now. So
yeah, that's rough.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really impressive though. That's really impressive that you're doing all that. It just sounds like an insanely amount of work. You're in a van?
in a van, minivan, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Nice.
there's
nice.
4 of us in our
Minivan
gear.
gang.
in
You
a-
listen to
in
any
a minivan.
podcasts on the van? On long drives?
You know, not really. Sometimes I listen to Chapo Trap House, but
Okay.
whenever I do, all my bandmates put their headphones on. So, yeah.
Not a fan favorite.
Well, now they'll listen to it, all my friends.
Yeah.
They'll be-
The name of this podcast is All My Friends.
All my friends.
Okay,
We'll,
so
we'll check it out.
Throw it on there. It's
We'll
really
see,
good.
We'll see how it survives with the bandmates.
Yeah. If they put on their headphones, don't tell us that. Last question. Is Avril Lavigne dead or alive?
Ooh.
Are you familiar with the conspiracy theory?
I'm familiar for sure. I'm gonna say alive.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Any reason why?
I feel like I'm too much of a pessimist and a cynic, so
I
I'm
don't
just
get
like,
that vibe at all.
oh, it's
Yeah?
there. It's
Yeah.
there. But like I'm trying not to be anymore. So I'm gonna like stick to the positive side.
Okay.
I think she's alive and well.
Yeah.
And probably getting a good laugh out of the conspiracy.
She probably is. She's like, you fuckers are
She's
so
laughing
dumb.
to the bank.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah.
She's doing all right. Do you, any conspiracy theories you believe in?
Oh, I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, nothing. I'm not a truther, but I don't know. I'm also like, I guess I'm like also not like totally.
She's like, the Earth could be flat.
I don't know though. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't necessarily like think that the government always has our best interest at heart. So like, I could be convinced. I
like
could be
that.
convinced of conspiracy theories, but
That's a broad one.
I'm
too.
a paranoid enough person. I think on like day-to-day levels
really?
That you don't wanna
like
worry about
I don't
big
want to go
things.
too deep. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
try and you know, float above the
That is
the
the
dark
perfect
holes.
spot to
Yeah.
end this interview. Thank you so much for chatting with us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Good luck on tour.
Thank you.
Stay healthy. Stay
Thank you for
safe.
having me.
And if you ever do want to like announce a breakup or like premiere music, you can do it on this
Just
podcast.
let us know.
Just,
Yeah.
just
Cool.
let us know. So yeah.
Thanks,
Awesome.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Anna.
And that was the lovely Anna Burch. Burch.
Burch.
Burch.
Burch.
Burch.
Burch.
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah.
Big thanks again to Anna for sitting down. It was fantastic. Little conversation.
Yeah.
Talked everything.
Shout-outs.
we wanted to do. So it's good. That wraps up episode 20 for us.
Yeah. There might be a slight lag in next week's episode because one of us, Evan, is going on vacation.
Don't blame me.
One of us, Evan.
Well,
Don't want to say
sometimes,
who.
you know, World traveler. World traveler.
Huh.
Yeah, there might be a
I'm
bit of a
here
delay.
putting in the work,
I know
hours
that-
and hours, and
I know you all are waiting anxiously. Yeah,
Yeah.
waiting anxiously for the next one. But you're gonna have to wait patiently because again, there might be a lag. So we're figuring it out. But we'll we'll keep delivering the content, and we're gonna be here for another 20 episodes. You know,
Oh,
20 is a
absolutely.
milestone. So big thanks again for any who have listened. New listeners,
yeah.
sup?
Old listeners, sup?
We love you.
Yeah.
Love y'all.
Yeah. Peace.